No, and also you and I learned a new trick, which was that we realized that this was a long duration asset and you need to have a longer time horizon than was traditional in macro.
Yeah.
And we both
Yeah.
had to learn that trick. You have to learn it. It's hard, but you learn it, and you learn, as you're doing now, is if you've got a long duration, you should be buying in the sell-offs and not selling.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, pay attention. This video is going to keep you hopeful, forward-looking in this most recent pullback that we are currently experiencing. Before we get into the video clips, the video breakdowns, the panel discussions that I have to play for you all today, showing you all, again, how massive of an opportunity we have at our fingertips as manual retail investors to front-run the financial institutions that are not here yet. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't get shaken out. Stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. We're going to show some massive video clips that are never going to reach the mainstream, okay? But first, I want to play a video clip from Raoul Paul, where he goes on to say, now is the time that you, as investors, should be buying.
No, and also you and I learned a new trick, which was that we realized that this was a long duration asset and you need to have a longer time horizon than was traditional in macro.
Yeah.
And we both had to learn that trick. You have to learn it. It's hard, but you learn it, and you learn, as you're doing now, is if you've got a long duration, you should be buying in the sell-offs and not selling.
Keep in mind that when the market is discounted, this is now when individuals should be taking advantage of discounted opportunities. Again, not financial advice, just to show you all on the Twitter space, we are one of the realest market fundamentalists in the crypto game on Twitter and on YouTube that you have the ability to follow. People are not paying attention to the value that we provide here at CYPRX. Look at the dates, okay? Look at the dates that we put this information out, telling you, walking you through these pullbacks. This is June 7th, right? I said, I can't imagine how many market participants are confused as to why their bags are not pumping right now. Ignorance is a choice in the age of information. Our community has and will continue to remain at the forefront of providing accurate fundamentals before the news plays out. So you can see here, we walked through these dollar bull scenarios and risk asset bear scenarios. It gave you guys a complete walkthrough as to why the total cryptocurrency market cap was pulling back, why a reallocation of capital amongst larger financial players and investors is coming out of riskier assets and into safer assets like the dollar. So keep in mind the date that this was posted out to you all, June 7th. Take a second and just look back at the charts where price action was at on June 7th via the total cryptocurrency market cap. You can see we were up here hovering at around 2.56 trillion comparatively to where we are currently at today. A significant market depreciation from when we put this information out. And the information went on to continue, where if you scroll up just a little tiny bit on our page, you can see that we continue to enlighten individuals. This is a couple days after, on June 8th, a full market fundamental breakdown as to what is happening amongst these financial institutions, where we said what is happening. It's a strategic move by financial players and traders with enough capital to actually move these markets. Intraday, they are shifting their investments away from riskier assets because they are now expecting interest rates to stay higher for longer. Again, breaking this down for you guys piece by piece, explaining why crypto is down at a high, giving you the ability to readjust portfolios if you really understand. And again, information flow continues. This is on June 10th. I literally said to you all, it will get worse before it gets better. Gradual, then sudden. The ones who will come out on top are the ones who are taking action now while we wait. Look at the date, June 10th. Again, you want to be able to do this via the people that you follow on the internet. Make sure that they're putting out valuable information at reasonable areas of interest on the charts. You can see here, June 10th, where I mentioned to you all, it's going to get worse before it gets better. How did I know this? I knew this because of the market shift in sentiment to risk off. And I understand where the order flow goes in and what assets it goes into when we see a risk off market sentiment. Right. So I, again, always trying to keep you guys at the forefront, wanted to show you this and wanted to play that clip from Raoul Paul because now is an opportunity for you to be taking advantage of discounted positions. But keeping in mind why all of this is happening, why we're seeing a pullback in crypto, why your bullish moon boy influencer price predictions are not coming into fruition. And now we're going to get into the piece of this video breakdown to keep you all forward looking and hopeful in this most recent market downturn. So first, we're going to get into a clip from the BIS general manager and other representatives from systemically important organizations telling you all that this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Take a second and listen.
When the technology is mature enough to use, but before we get locked into rigid institutional frameworks or walled gardens erected by large financial institutions or by big tech companies. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
We believe that this can transform the lives of everybody on the planet. We believe that this can transform the lives of everybody on the planet.
So why is this the opportunity of a lifetime? Because for the first time in history, we have to understand, again, this is happening for the first time in history. Everyone with a mobile phone connection and an internet connection can participate in this new financial system that they are building.
Now, what we've seen in the last 2 years, when I was writing laws in 2017, 2018 around ICOs, Bitcoin, blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, nobody cared. Nobody really cared. Move to 2024. I've got to worry about DeFi. I need to worry about smart contracts, audits of smart contracts, the metaverse. Things like Web3 is now allowed entrepreneurs across the emerging world. Do I really, really care what Bitcoin price does? Well, vote a lot of it, yes, but it's still a speculative asset and it's very volatile. So take that out of the equation for a minute. But the emerging world where you don't have access to a banking system, and I work in Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana, 97% of people don't have access to financial inclusion. We in Australia have 98%, Canada, the rest of the world. You flip that on the head. All of a sudden you give people a smart device, a stable coin, a wallet. You can create with Web3, move value. We can transfer value and assets like we've never seen in history. And that is the killer app. And you will see the development of that in the next 6 months in the emerging world like we've never seen anything.
We have labeled our vision for the future financial system the Finternet. I will leave it to Nandan to expand on it and explain the more technical aspects. But let me provide a broad overview. We foresee a system in which individuals and businesses could transfer any financial assets they like in any amount at any time using any device to anyone else anywhere in the world.
Including all the adoption that's happening in the world of cryptocurrency. Decentralized, right? This is for all over the world, right? Literally every single human being on the planet with access to the internet has access to this now. This is one of the most exciting things to ever come out to the entire world because it's the entire world all at once being connected via money. And a lot of people don't realize just how important money is.
Right? That is happening for the first time ever in history. And we are at the forefront of mass adoption of this new wave and evolution of technology. Now, I want you all to take a second and let's transition because obviously, of course, you all know that I'm a firm believer that Ripple is going to play a massive role in this new financial system. Take a second and listen to a Ripple representative, Anthony Welfare, mention and talk about interoperability. I've played this video clip before, and he also goes on to talk about a multi-token world. Again, this is a video from 2023. Now, we're going to also incorporate a video from the general manager of the BIS, where he goes on to talk about the same exact thing that Anthony Welfare was talking about in 2023. And then I want you to pay attention to detail how these individual representatives, first Anthony Welfare mentions and talks about the future, the BIS general manager, and another representative from ANZ Bank goes on to confirm that this is all going to be gradual, a gradual adoption curve, and then it's going to be sudden. Take a second and listen.
Number 4 is interoperability. We actually think about this from day one. It's not something we think about later on. And this is all about how do we connect with the domestic system, the current system in the countries, but other systems, you know, CBDCs, stable coins, native cryptos, they will all be part of the future. And they all need to work together. And in somehow, we need to make that happen. So we think about that a lot.
To be clear, we are not advocating for one ledger to rule them all. A single ledger that encompasses all financial assets and transactions in an economy. Depending on the needs of each jurisdiction, multiple ledgers could coexist. They would need to connect with each other and with other parts of the financial system, for example, through application programming interfaces. And their function and the range of assets they contain would likely evolve over time. They might start with a small number of assets and use cases before gradually expanding into something more ambitious. And the range of assets they contain would likely evolve over time. They might start with a small number of assets and use cases before gradually expanding into something more ambitious.
Quite simply, I think blockchains and digital assets are the future of finance, really, for many, many asset classes. Yes, the regulation needs to evolve and mature. And certainly there needs to be critical mass of both buyers and sellers and lenders and borrowers. But as more banks like ANZ get involved with the services I described around tokenization and smart contract provision, wallet infrastructure, if that's coming from a trusted counterparty like a bank, like ANZ, our customers are going to be much more inclined to reveal to themselves the benefit of fast settlement times, very low transaction costs. It's going to be gradual, then sudden. It's going to be gradual, then sudden. And I think that's the evolution. Now, that gradual may take longer than we hope or wish, but I do think there will be a tipping point where momentum in the asset markets that are digitized and tokenized will show that the transformation has occurred. And also, I think that interoperability being threaded through,
Number 4 is interoperability. We actually think about this from day one.
That all those blockchains really will be one of the deciding factors for that tipping point.
So do you see the word choice, right? Multi-token world, interoperability, gradual, then sudden, future projections. This is all systemically planned. Now, to even further my case, this is going to absolutely blow your mind. Just to confirm that Ripple is going to play a role, we're going to listen to a high-end representative, Nandane, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I'm not going to butcher his last name. He is the co-founder and chairman of Infosys. And what he goes on to say here is that in the future, public and private sector collaboration is obviously, of course, going to be necessary to run this new financial system. But the way in which they're building it is so that way they can integrate a high-performance transaction-based tokenized engine into the system in the future. Take a second and listen.
Now, how do you build applications? The applications will be built by various providers, companies, banks, whoever it is. So that is where the innovation will come. So any innovator can build an application at that layer for any user and use this infrastructure. So this will lead to an explosion of innovation as different actors, market actors, regulated, unregulated players, all deliver applications for different users. So you're creating a market on top of an existing system by inserting a high-performance tokenized-based transaction engine in the middle of it.
Now, why is what he said so freaking important? Ladies and gentlemen, just go read about what the XRPL is. You can see right here. Pay attention, keywords are extremely important. The XRPL is a high performance.
By inserting a high-performance tokenized-based transaction engine in the middle of it.
Open source layer 1 blockchain built on the Federated Byzantine Agreement consensus algorithm, enabling fast 3 to 5 seconds and secure peer-to-peer transfer of diverse assets. Keep in mind, diverse assets. What did Augustine Carson say? What did Anthony Welfare say? Like XRP, fiat currency, stablecoins, and NFTs. A multi-token system on a high-performance transaction-based tokenized engine. This is exactly what XRPL is. And you just heard the gentleman say what it is that they're attempting to integrate into this new financial system. Now, last but not least, we have this video clip from a representative on a panel discussion at the beginning of 2024, where he goes on to confirm that in the future, everybody that invests in this new Web3 ecosystem and these new digital technologies will be looking back in 3 to 5 years and be extremely happy with their investments.
24 is a very, very important year, in my opinion, when you look at the next 5, 10 years, 15-year trajectory going forward, particularly when you look at the sectors that the UAE is focusing on, and de facto the sectors that we as an investment institution, Mubadala, are focusing on. So when you look at key themes, energy transition, technology, artificial intelligence, within that, digital infrastructure, these are all spaces that are undergoing a massive transformation. I would say a profound transformation that today, when we look back in 10 years, we will look at 2024 and probably 2023 as really critical foundation years for a massive investment journey in these spaces that investment institutions and countries in this case, that it took the right decisions in these two, in my opinion, critical years, 23, 24. 10 years from now, we'll look back I think, and we'll be very satisfied if they took the right decisions.
Again, to full circle this video breakdown, we are in a market pullback. Now is the time to capitalize on opportunity and the time to capitalize on educating yourself, understanding why your digital assets are pulling back by following individual influencers like myself who have been informing you all about this strategically from the top of price action. So that way you don't get shaken out and you actually understand why investors are reallocating capital into other assets and taking profits from crypto. So that way you don't get shaken out, you understand the bigger picture, and you see from a zoomed out perspective how massive of an opportunity this is. Please do not fumble the ball. Take it upon yourself to join a community like ours or another like-minded community out there, because there are many that exist, to stay informed, to stay involved, and to stay on top of your game. I cannot stress enough, now is not the time to fumble the ball. Now is the time to capitalize on education and proper information. Many blessings to you guys. As always, bringing you all the realest information in the game. I cannot stress enough. Do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you enjoyed. Visit CYPRXtrading.com if you want to view any of the services that CYPRX provides. We'd love to have you on the team. As always, many blessings. Be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.